Hello, friends. We are here. This is Chef Stories. My name is Mark, and today we're going to review Firehouse Subs French dip sandwich right here. The restaurant was really busy today. Let's weigh this sucker. It was really busy. I ordered it on the app. It was really easy. Picked it up. .3 ounces. Okay, so not very big. Let's unwrap it here. Here's the cross section. Oh my gosh, no meat. I didn't get any extra meat. It was $14 out the door for this. I put a couple bucks in the tip jar. Came with the pickle. Comes with this au jus. The au jus is in a package, is in a container that leaks, like if you look at it wrong. So let's try it here. I've noticed one thing, like these sandwiches don't look anything like they do in the app, but this is probably literally 2 ounces of meat on here. Going in, French dip, Firehouse Subs, Franklin, North Carolina. Very good. The au jus is rich. Creaminess from the provolone cheese, some grilled onions. It's a good sub. Other than it's $14 for 2 ounces of meat, which is robbery. But that's what I personally feel like. Instead of provolone cheese, Swiss cheese is better on a French dip. And this was the medium. Like I said, it ended up being like $14.95. They had a small, $7.99, and then a large, I think it was $17.99. It's good. The au jus carries it. That's for sure. Today I'd like to talk about like young chefs, even older chefs, need to understand the fundamentals of cooking better. That's why I recommend this book for everybody, the Escoffier Cookbook. Anybody that's been to culinary school is familiar knowledge with this book. American culinary schools are based on this book, The French Methods of Cooking. And you can go through this book and it's amazing, it's fascinating just to like read through the recipes. It tells you everything in here, how to set your kitchen up, Kitchen Brigade. It's an amazing book. It's like time in our profession. I mean, our profession is basically a no-tech profession as far as our equipment. We cook with fire, pots and pans, we use knives. That really hasn't changed over the years, but everything else has changed. Marketing, decor, management, all this stuff has changed over the years, but there's a lot of things in this book that are constant and very, very applicable to this day, 2026. This book is over 100 years old. And this book is going to teach you the fundamentals. Every good chef needs to start by learning how to make chicken stock, beef stock, fish stock, vegetable stock. That's the foundations of your cooking. If you have a restaurant and you're making soups and you're not using chicken stock and you're using that crap from a jar, you're not doing it right. And it makes a big difference. People always notice that. A good cook is judged on his soup. So learn how to make soups. Once you learn the method of making soups and the different kinds of soups, which this book will tell you everything, you can make a spin on it. You can do whatever you want, but your foundations are solid. Very solid. As long as your knife skills. Everybody wants to do the fanciest, Instagramiest, most colorful, dish they can make. That's not always the case. if you know the foundations and the simpler, like when I cook, I very rarely have more than 5 or 6 ingredients. That's including the seasoning, like in my food. But it's solid. It's flavorful. It's simple, and the art is in the execution. The art is in the technique. The art is not in just taking pictures of it. That's a big deal to this day. But a hot steaming bowl of tomato bisque looked just the same 120 years ago, or better than it looks now. It amazes me how many restaurants, how many people, how many cooks, they buy soups, they bring them in, they're garbage. There was a restaurant here in Clayton. It was a big hotel, real nice hotel. And they had French onion soup on the menu. I'm like, French onion soup. You know, everybody loves that. It was literally sauteed onions in the canned demi-glace. Like they took the sauteed onions, they dumped the canned demi-glace in there and some beef stock, and they called it a day. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Actually, sent him an email. I mean, not saying it was terrible, but saying like, this is not what you're doing. This is not the way to do this. There's a way cheaper, simpler way of making a French onion soup, and they never responded to me. Shocker. Just because you own a restaurant, you don't know everything. If you own a hotel, you don't know everything. Listen to your customers' input to a point. So basically, learn to walk before you can run. Learn the history. Oh, that's another thing. Learn the history of your dishes. This is how they made pig knuckles or short ribs or any kind of braised meat. Learn how they did it 100 years ago. A lot of times people will be like, Chef Mark, like, how did you think of this? And I laugh to myself because I know it's from a cookbook that's 120 something years old. It never goes out of style. The presentations will change, but the methodology and the method of cooking remains the same. So if you're a young chef, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Get some solid skills behind you. If you're a regular chef and you do meat and you do, you're not a baker, you're not a pastry chef, have a few breads in your bag of tricks. Have a few desserts in your bag of tricks. Learn how to make ice cream. Learn how to make a pie shell. Learn how to make a savory pie shell. Learn how to make pita bread. You can make the same recipe dough that you make for your pizza. Replace some of the water, add yogurt into it, and that becomes pita bread. It's the same method. And Firehouse Subs gives you a pickle. That's my talk. Bear with me. I know it's cringy. I'm doing these sub reviews because they're easy. They're affordable to a point. Plus, it's going to make me more familiar talking into a camera, and to be able to transition from a chef. I'm really more like, I'm a chef de cuisine. I do not like the paperwork side of being a chef. I don't do this. I butted heads with the country club I worked at because when you go on Indeed and you look at a job description for an executive chef, it's like, make sure all the food is good. Duh. All the hiring, all the firing, all the inventory, all this, all that, spreadsheets, do this, do that, forecasting. It's stupid. You want to have your chef, your main guy is a leader. He's in the kitchen cooking. He's working, training staff. Him being there till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, doing inventory is not his job. It's not important. What I used to do, it's kind of funny. I would take the person that was least cared about cooking. They were just cooking there as a job. And I would offer them a position and be like, you're the kitchen manager. You work 9 to 5. No nights, no weekends. You do have the ability to fill in if we're in a pinch. But I would make that person do all the hiring, all the firing, all the inventory, every meeting sometimes I had to go to meetings, I couldn't get out of it. But I don't need to do, like, an executive chef does not need to do that. Now in a big hotel, that's a different story because he's a true executive. He is in an office. He is in the kitchen. He is doing all this. He has a management team behind him. Just because you're a restaurant owner and you want to make this, pay your guy $80,000 and make this giant list of job description, which is absolutely absurd if you actually take the time to like read it, because it's like usually a giant paragraph of job responsibilities. Also being able to be on call and this and that. You base your salary on 45 hours a week. Base your salary on a 4-day week. You will last longer in the business. Get yourself a kitchen manager to do all the BS work. And you just concentrate on good food. You concentrate on the art. You concentrate on the promotion. You go out there and shake hands. You get feedback. You answer emails. You talk to the customers. And look proper, look clean. Have a special jacket to go out into the dining room. Act polished and act don't act above, but just act like you're like in the army. Like you just act like you're the captain. You're the officer. You answer to the general, and you answer to the lieutenant general. You answer to you. Everybody has bosses, but in the kitchen, that's your realm. Don't let other management come in there and try to take over your space. Don't let them pile onto your workload. When I worked at that country club, that's one of the things that used to drive me crazy. They would come up with all these ideas, like instead of in every one of their ideas, every one of their promotions, it involved food, somehow food. Like I was like, can't you do a promotion where it involved like Bloody Marys or like why do you always have to pile on my plate? I know because it looks good. It's cool to have food, but you need to think out your promotions better. They could have reduced cost. They could have done a free day. They could have done stuff to get members in. They could have done all kinds of stuff. Having somebody out there like making tacos for 15 rounds of golf and doing dumb stuff like that is just a waste of time, money, and energy. But that's my little rant. Like I said, I hope it's not too cringy. I really want to get better at these food reviews, so bear with me. Thank you very much. If you made it this far to the end, you're an absolute legend. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I'm Chef Mark. This is Chef Stories, and thank you for watching.